Hello everyone, this is Anna from Lexington Journals. I hope everybody's well today. I just wanted very quickly to start by saying thank you to this lady who knows who she is. Thank you from my heart, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much for your lovely gift and note to me. So, this is the Voynich Manuscript, Codex, and as I have mentioned before, I always wanted to make a journal with a theme to the Voynich manuscript, but I just couldn't find the proper cover, and I just couldn't come up with the right idea, and then suddenly, I found it. I found the perfect paper, the perfect cover for this theme, for this journal, and so there you are. So let me show you the cover first. There it is. Lots of gold on this one, and the back. Now the gold. I've added this in this part as well. This closure is an idea. I've been influenced by another medieval book I saw, and so I thought I'd do that as well here. And then of course the usual binding on the side, and I've got well, I'll show you here. I've used, like in different journals, I've used this side paper, and so in this case, because they happened to be on the ends, on the beginning and the end, more or less, I've just put the ribbon through, but one can use it any way they like. You can even remove as in cut, and stick it inside the journal. So let me open it. I just did it this way because I thought it's fun, and untied. I know it's got it's quite fiddly, but again, one can just remove the bottom bit. And this is a removable bookmark tassel, and as I've said before, I'm in a bit of a gold tassel mood. I'm using it in this journal because it goes so well with the gold spine, and just the gold spine, by the way, it looks very rustic, as you can see, and if you hold it this way, it looks like it's come out of some old library. Very old library. Most of you know what the Voynich Manuscript is, and I will tell you very briefly. It is an illustrated handwritten codex, and the system, the writing is the writing system is unknown, and it was made out of vellum, and it has been carbon dated to back to the 15th century, between 1404 and 1438. That's the time they believe it was made, and it's assumed that it comes from Italy and the time of the Italian Renaissance. So this is what we've got about Voynich Manuscript, and it is called Voynich because it was found and bought by this book dealer. His name was Wilfrid Voynich. So the manuscript itself is made of hundreds of papers, vellum papers, and it has about 240 pages, and it's very difficult really to count because there are lots of fold outs, and it's made in a very interesting way so that it's not just page after page like a book, but it's got its own structure. So if quite a lot has been lost, so it is around 272 pages at least. And the Voynich manuscript is separated into different sections, and roughly the sections are herbal, astronomical, biological, cosmological, pharmaceutical, and recipes. So what I've done here is I have created a journal that is a journal for people to write in and to enjoy as a journal, as we do with journals, or to use for mixed media or any other form of art, but it still is a journal that is dedicated to this amazing manuscript, which actually there have been theories about it that it was all a hoax. No one really knows what this manuscript is and where it comes from and why it was written, and if it was codified in a certain way for a reason. So we'll leave it there. and we'll leave the mystery, and hopefully sometime in our lifetime we will find out what this manuscript is all about. So let's have a look at it inside. Now I've got these wonderful end papers. Wonderful, I believe they're wonderful, and they go very well with this grey here. This is a sort of grey blue. And look at this, it's bronzy, shiny, beautiful, and they are Indian papers, Nepalese papers, sorry. And here I just added this on the side, so this is the start of it. And I've used this amazing paper that I use sometimes in journals, and it's the paper that is the 95 GSM, and it's a bit thicker, and it coffee dyes amazingly well. Beautiful. So here's like a shorter page with this here, and one can tie. I've got a few tied ones as well. There's a pocket, and it is a side pocket from the outside. And now I have added quite a few illustrations from the manuscript. I couldn't add all of them, of course, but I have added a few just to give the understanding to the owner, and also to whoever is watching this video, how Voynich worked. So these are the illustrations, and they believe that the plants, they know what the plants are. And there's another one, and I've tried to kind of keep them. Unfortunately, it's not the best scanning that can be done with these, because the scanning itself, wherever one could find the scanning, is not very good. So, but it still is, and it looks very old. It still is realistically what it should look like in an old manuscript. And this this comes from the section that is the astrological section, with all the circular diagrams. And I've added sewn a leaf on a muslin. And there's another sort of smaller sized page. Yeah, which is a pocket from the top here, and with a bit of that, another piece of Nepalese paper here. And as you can see, the paper is just amazing, still going on amazingly. This beautiful tea-dyed paper. There's another pocket here, and I've added some of this paper, which is very rough on the side, but I think I didn't cut it to make it perfect. It just looks perfect as it is. And there's another circular diagram, and there are about 30 ladies, women mainly, on it, around it, the figures, and they're arranged in 20 or more concentric bands. So then, not the specific one, but this is the idea of this astronomical diagrams. These are astronomical diagrams. So let me just put this back in. It's got a few blues in it and greens, as I'm sure you can tell. And there's another diagram here, and there are again females here, and very interesting, the whole thing. And there's a little bit of silks, red silk sewn here on the side. There are some more here, diagrams of these females. The numbers are more recent. I think from what I read, the numbers were placed when the manuscript was put together. I've added this linen thread, as I went to the bookbinders the other day, and I picked up these gorgeous threads, and I thought I could use them in a few books. I only picked up 2, but I will next visit. I've decided to, every time I go, I'll get a couple, so I'm not too greedy. But these colors are good. So there's more paper here, and other sides of a place to note things. And this is some beautiful alchemist washi, which a few of you might have seen in other journals. I just love this washi, and I use it in the journals that are related to themes of chemical themes. And this dragon here, as you can see, that comes also from the manuscript. And there's a side pocket, and this is the one that I could tie the ribbon through, and some citrine beads here. And citrine is the stone for creativity, and a lot of other things. Very, very beautiful things. It offers good energy for a lot of things. So I thought, add this to give some positive energy to this journal. And this is the side pocket here. And there's some washi with sort of green theme, herbal theme. Look at this. There. There's another side pocket here with a sort of an alchemy kind of symbols, alchemical symbols, the sun and everything. And here we have the herbal section. I think that would be herbal because of the plants. And I've kind of created a big side pocket here. I am not very good at identifying between the pharmaceutical and the herbal, because the pharmaceutical section is repeating sometimes the herbal section only in larger images. So this might very easily be a pharmaceutical image, but it's also the herbal. It comes in both. And there's a side pocket. And now this would be, because this is a new signature, this would be the biological section. And here, because you see a lot of the handwriting, and it's actually, this one has scanned really well. So as you can see, it's very clear, and it's women bathing in this green, almost like a little river here, and then there are some more here, and I don't know, it's really something. There's a pocket here. And there's another section of it with a lot of handwriting in it. And here I have printed out another one that comes from the biological side, if I'm not mistaken. And this parchment paper. And there's a submuslin with the leaf again. There's a side pocket. And there's some more washi with an alchemical theme on it over here. And another side pocket. And here's more on the ladies and the biological theme. And this is like a leafy almost design on the paper, the way it has dyed, colored, and this is just a little stamp, a wax seal, and there they are again. And there are all these interesting tubes that are all filling the pools with water. Who knows what kind of water, what it was exactly. But the ladies are bathing in it, and they seem very content. It's almost like it's a fantastical themed manuscript, really. And here they are in different levels, on different levels, the ladies, and they are almost like they're having, some of them are, it's like they're having showers. Others have got their legs inside and their feet, and then there's another one in a bowl. So who knows what they were up to, but it's very interesting. We say maybe one day we'll find out. There's some of this beautiful red silk ribbon, and here is a larger image of the same picture there, illustration. And here, this is a window, and some more writing here. Put this aside, it's quite tight and quite big, so one can use it for their own purposes as well. And then there's a side pocket here with the same kind of rustic looking paper that is used in the cover. And here we have a folding out there. This is the cosmological section, from the cosmological section. As you can see, so many discs with very interesting designs on them. And lots of fold outs, and this is one of the fold outs. So I added it in here. And there's another fold out. Cosmological. There's another one. This is another fold out. There we are. See, this is the moon. We've got a look of the writing here. Side pocket and some muslin, coffee dyed, tea dyed muslin. Another image here. And a stamp. Paper. The paper is, every bit of paper it's got its own character in it, own character. It's got its own personality. That's what I mean. And there's this is probably in the pharmaceutical, but it's herbal. So I added it onto the side, and there's more with information on the plants, which we cannot obviously read. And this one is also in a window, and it's got the tubes here. So this is clearly, clearly information on. These are like apothecary jars, if I'm not mistaken, and they range in size, and also the plants and the roots as well. There we are. Okay, sorry about that glaze. It's the window on the top. And there's the other bit that has a key here, and a wheel. A wheel and a key. The two important things about medieval times, wheels and keys. And this again unfolds, and that's also on the pharmaceutical section. And this is from one of my books, which I just attached. And it's an engraving by Albrecht Dürer, Saint Jerome in his study, and I just love it because it's an alchemist at work here. And this is more themed towards the times when this manuscript was discovered, and this is the mood of the place that I expect would be where Voynich was. And there's a little bit more detail here with the stars and information. I didn't really want to do too much on the pages. I thought the pages are beautiful as they are. And I left the back of the end pages cleared. Finally, here is the end with my favorite book plate here, medieval themed, a library with some very interesting decoration here, and it is just definitely the best I've ever used, and you see it quite a lot in my medieval journals. So this is the journal, and I hope you enjoyed this video. My other life as a writer, I had done a lot of research on codexes because I was writing halfway a fantasy novel. It would have been my first fantasy novel and my first novel in English, and it was related to it was a historical theme going way back, a journey through time in a sort of certain way, and well, maybe one day I'll finish the novel. But yes, that's where I discovered Voynich. It was a few years ago, and it really attracted me very much as a theme for a while. So I might be making another journal anyway, another Voynich journal soon. But for the moment, this is the one. I just want to show you a little bit the thickness. It's quite thick. You know, it's got the usual here, and the gold as I showed you earlier. So I will be working on a new journal now, immediately after this one. I've got a few on my list, so let's see where the research will take me next. So thank you very much again. Have a lovely day. Bye.